How is his incarceration affecting you and y'all's relationship?
I'm going crazy, but that's my man. I'm gonna do whatever for him.
Do you visit him?
Yeah.
All right, you put money on his books?
Hell yeah, that's my man.
You send him emails through JP?
Duh, what the fuck? Of course. For my fucking man.
Okay.
Hello.
I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna run into. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this motherfucker. Like, I had some people, wanting to try to check me and shit. You stand your ground. It's just some stupid shit, man.
Kind of jam-packed bedrooms and like 30 people to a room. So it's kind of just most people just sleeping. There ain't nothing but bunk bed, TV, and stuff like that.
Shit, it's a little different from the life we live. You know what I'm saying? So really, it's coming back home, homecoming, see some homies, shit like that. Another day, man. The streets of jail's not too much of a different transition, so it's what we do. No matter what, make the best out of what we got.
Give us a story.
I'm a public servant. I beat up my teacher.
Dang. What grade were you in?
I was in 9th grade.
Oh, so what? You went to juvenile detention?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but as an adult, I got charged as an adult.
All right, good afternoon. This is State of Florida versus Stephen Testo with multiple cases before the...
All right, so my name is Ei the King, and I am the host of the Incarceration podcast. So this entirety of this podcast is all about prison and jail. So first question is, have you ever been to prison or jail?
Does the military count?
Nah.
Oh, then no, I've never.
You ain't never been arrested?
No, I've never been arrested ever.
Okay, do you have any family or friends who've been arrested?
I do, yes.
Can you maybe share with us like just explain who it was, and if you don't mind, why they went to jail or prison and how that made you feel, just the effects of their incarceration affected you?
Okay, well, to be honest, I don't actually want to say exactly who it was, but it was somebody in my family. They went to jail because they were basically a drug lord. And I mean, I didn't really see how it affected me personally because I was so young, but I did see how it affected his mom and my parents and stuff like that. It definitely stressed everybody out, kept people on edge. And I mean, he missed a lot of his kids growing up, so yeah. That's
real. When it comes to having a relation with a infamous drug lord, do you have any crazy stories that you can share that won't throw anybody under the bus?
I have no crazy stories because he was an infamous drug lord when I was a little kid, and so yeah, I don't really know that much about it.
What about any jail or prison stories from that individual? Have you heard any crazy prison or jail stories from them?
I know he released a book all about prison, but to be honest, nah. I mean, I know that he went, but he doesn't really talk too much about it.
That's real. And just when it comes to incarceration in totality, and people being locked away for decades or for whatever their crime was, how do you feel the effects of incarceration has affected you? And do you feel like there's a need for prison reform?
Well, I will say in terms of it affecting me directly, I wouldn't say it's really affected me too much. Like I said, I've seen how it's affected some of the people in my family. I think prison reform is important, right? Because to me, that's how people don't go back into the system. When you actually teach them a skill, you give them a chance, you give them the opportunity to thrive, that's how they stay in a situation where they stay out of jail, so.
That's fire. Anything else you want to share?
Thank you for interviewing me. I'm sorry.
Plug yourself in.
Oh, okay. We have a podcast too, actually. It's all about interviewing people in technology, stats on stats, so I guess go check us out.
So what's your name, where you from, and where we at right now, dog?
My name is Chris. I'm from Florida, and we are at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas.
That's what's up, bro. So listen, my name is Ei the King. I'm the host of the Incarceration podcast. All we do is talk about prison. Okay. So my first question is, have you ever been arrested and been to jail or prison?
No.
No? Okay, that's cool. Do you know anybody personally, whether it be friends, family, relatives, or just acquaintances, who have been arrested and been to jail or prison? And if so, do you mind sharing with us why they went? And if you don't want to release that personal information, just share with us how that affected your life.
No, unfortunately, I haven't had any close family incarcerated at all.
Oh, that's fire, bro. That's super rare, man.
Very lucky. Very lucky.
Just when it comes to prison and incarceration in general, what are your just general thoughts about, mass incarceration, prison reform, the need of rehabilitation for people who are committing crimes and getting out of a lifestyle of crime? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's incredibly complex and cruel a lot of times, and hard to know how to navigate something like that. I don't think I don't think the way that it's been done is necessarily the most effective or healthy way. I know a lot of people who have had family members who have been locked up unfairly and without really a good due process. So I know there's a lot of corruption involved. But yeah, I generally have that kind of a sentiment towards it. I know it needs a lot of reform, but I don't really know too much about it, unfortunately.
That's fire, bro. Anything else you want to share?
No.
Plug yourself in, man. Where people find you at?
You can find me Instagram. My name is Maglo. If you like anything on the music side, mag.lo, you can find me there. But yeah, thanks for talking to me.
Great to meet you. My name is E.I. the King. I'm the host of the Incarceration podcast. First of all, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Ana Carolina. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Okay, and what are you doing out here at South by Southwest in Austin?
I just came to Casa São Paulo to watch an artist that I like, JP. And I'm going to walk around right now.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So my first question for you is, the podcast is all about prison, right? Okay. So my first question is, have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been to jail or prison?
No.
Okay, and that's completely fine. But do you know anybody, whether it be family, friends, relatives, acquaintances, who have been arrested and have been to prison and jail? And if so, would they go for it? If you want to share, you don't have to if you don't want to. And how did that affect you?
I don't know anybody from my family was arrested or in jail, but I grew up in a poor area in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So I had friends that grew up with me that went incarcerated. They went to jail. Most of them I never heard about any of them. One of them that was like my childhood friend that we used to play together at the streets. He left jail with strong addiction, and he went out like passing out. He died as soon as he left jail, and it really affected me because I really liked him. Yeah.
Dang. As far as being from Brazil, do you know any differences of the prisons in Brazil compared to the prisons in America?
I know that Brazil, I think it's like the 5th in larger incarceration population in the world. I think like the demographics are really similar to here in the U.S. Most of black men. I think like it's very similar. I study like the history of incarceration here in the U.S. and it's very, very similar to what happened in Brazil. Yeah.
Of course, thank you. And then lastly, just when it comes to mass incarceration throughout the world, what are your thoughts about the criminal justice system, the need for prison reform, and things like that?
I believe that it's a way of put more people of color, especially black people, out of the streets. I believe that a lot of, I don't remember the word in English, but the sentences are extremely high. Someone that possesses a little bit of drugs, depending on the skin color or profile as criminal, as a drug dealer, and is sent to prison for like 10, 20 years, sometimes life. And I think it's something that needed to be discussed and changed and challenged to change because it's not acceptable.
It's fire. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to add, or do you want to plug anything in to drive people to where you got, what you got going on, anything like that?
No.
So what's your name, where are you from, and where are we at right now, and why are you out here?
Okay, Regina Clark, Brooklyn, New York. Where am I? Leaving the Sao Paulo experience. Definitely wanted to experience it, right? Brazil, it's awesome. Leaving because I have a community board meeting. So.
What are you doing at South by Southwest?
I'm a founder of a tech company.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fire.
So networking.
Okay, my name is E.I. the King. I'm the host of the Incarceration podcast. All we do is talk about prison.
Okay.
So the first question is, have you ever been arrested, been to jail or prison?
No. Okay, yeah.
You got to think about it. Were you ever arrested?
No, not arrested. Definitely stopped. You know.
Okay, what'd you get stopped for?
One MTA, so New York. You know.
What is MTA? What is that?
Oh, what do they stand for? It's a subway system. The buses.
The subway police.
Yeah. So basically, I already swiped my card. The machine was jacked up. So then I went through the door, and then the police gave me a ticket. And, you know, I'm like, no, I swiped it. It counted my thing. So yeah, I had to fight it. So
Okay. All right. Now, when it comes to family, friends, relatives, or anybody who's close to you, do you know anybody personally has been to prison or jail? If so, why? If you want to share, you don't have to if you don't want to. And then also, too, how did their incarceration affect you?
There was family. The fine print, I don't know, wasn't well spoken about. So much so that he got deported back to the home country of Barbados, which is where my family is from. But I will say, like, there's been impact because I've been a mentor as well. You know, there was a young middle school girl and her, you know, parent was incarcerated. So just really giving that support and seeing how that can impact youth.
That's real. And what are your thoughts about mass incarceration, prison reform, and just the criminal justice system in general?
Oh, I think it's BS. I think there needs to be an overhaul, lots of change. It definitely targets, you know, disadvantaged communities. You live in Brooklyn, you see it consistently, but I'm like, where has the most problems happened? Not in my neighborhood. But then also, when you talk about the history, redlining, the tech platform that I'm actually building is about eliminating zip codes determining outcomes. So I can't necessarily relate to prison directly, but I can say, like, it's clear how people can end up in that position and just how the system is just not working for us in any way. And the system from, you know, school to prison pipeline, and that's something that I'm trying to tackle, but then also just the prison system, the reformation, like, you know, even looking at, you know, how marijuana, you know, that right there, you know, we could drink alcohol all day, but like, seriously, people are still incarcerated. You know, it's very frustrating. So it's difficult to see our government not working for us. So I think at the end of the day, it's private sector that needs to do something and nonprofit organizations that are going to lead the way.
That's fire. And then lastly, do you want to drive people to what you're doing, your tech company? You want to plug yourself in at all?
Yeah, my tech company is a startup called Vision Talks. We're on a mission to eliminate zip codes determining outcomes. We're leveraging psychology to help people achieve their personal goals. We're trying to help the whole person. This year, we're starting with adults and helping them achieve their goals, but they are our mentorship pipeline. So our goal is really to get into school systems. So we're already working on New York Department of Education. We really want to make this global to essentially help kids make sure they're able to find the right vetted information, get access to a network of people. Everybody doesn't need to go to college, but how do they make their lives work? Really mitigating the struggle. Like, you don't know what you don't know. I basically bootstrapped my life, hustled, did all sorts. And we really want to mitigate that issue from happening by really bringing relatable people to the world, and they can see themselves in those people who have already succeeded.
That's fire. First of all, Brody, man, what they call you, where you from, and where we at right now, dog?
It's Elos. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. We out here in Austin, Texas, South by Southwest.
That's real, man. Listen, my name's the King. I'm the host of the Incarceration podcast. All we do is talk about prison, man.
Okay.
So my first question is this. Have you ever been arrested, been to jail or prison? And if so, for what?
Have I ever been arrested? Yeah, I got arrested when I was about 15 to 16 years old. Ever been to prison? No. And ever been incarcerated? No. For what? I was in a brawl and they got stabbed up. He ain't died though, so good looking out to that. But yeah, he made it through. And since I didn't stab the nigga, I didn't go to jail, and I was 15 at the time, so.
We went to juvenile detention?
Nah. They held me for the weekend though, but you know what I'm saying? Mom got me out on bail, and then they had a witness on the top floors pointed out who stabbed the nigga.
Yeah. All right, do you have any close friends, relatives, or friends who have been to jail or prison? And if so, for what? If you don't want to share, it's cool, but share about the story of how they got incarcerated and how it affected you.
Yeah, so my dad was actually incarcerated when I was a little bit younger. He sold drugs. Ain't really much of a secret. Growing up without a dad, I would say affecting me. I feel like when you're young, you don't really realize, and until you get a little older and you start realizing everybody got their dad with them, and then you like, yo, why don't you got your dad? So I feel like, you know, have my mom teach me how to be a man, going to a lot of my cousins teaching me how to be a man. So I feel like it just affected myself growing up as a, you know what I'm saying, I was the only boy in the household at that time. So I feel like that's how it kind of affected me.
That's real. And then lastly, dog, what are your thoughts on just mass incarceration in general, and like criminal justice and the need for prison reform? What are your thoughts on that?
I think the
Brody?
biggest thing is the need for prison reform. I feel like there's really no, they're not really helping people when they incarcerate them to get them ready to go back out into the world. I feel like once you get incarcerated, they're really just like, all right, we're gonna keep you here and cage you up like a beast, and then really just toss you back out into society, and you're supposed to be reformed and ready to join society. But in reality, you have no societal skills, you have no ability to generate any type of wealth, you have no ability to do anything. So I think it's, prison reform is huge, and I think it needs to be changed. I don't know what the answers are, but I think it starts from the inside all the way to the out. So that's my answer.
That's real. That's fire, dog. Lastly, man, anything you want to share, and then plug yourself in where people can find you at.
Yes, sir. Peace and love, man. Hope everyone watching loves themselves. Be blessed. You know what I'm saying? Realize you're not alone. Y'all can find me at official_ELOS, and on all streaming platforms is E-LOS.